How's everyone doing? This is podcast episode 20, where I'm going to talk about pedophilia. Now, it's pedophiles. It's 3 in the morning. No one's going to be online, right? I don't expect anyone to come on. So if no one comes on, no big deal. I'm in my RGB room right now. The lights turned off because it's still really, really early morning. I don't normally podcast at 3 a.m., but this is around the time that I have been waking up as of late because I have a weird sleeping schedule with editing videos and everything that I get on the side, advertising and all that. But let me just jump to the concurrent point here, alright? For a long time, pedophilia has existed all across fucking the big city areas, you know. We got New Jersey, California, Florida, Chicago is one of them, Toronto. Sometimes it's in some of the southern states too, but where there's no cities, but it's very rare, and you'd have to find these people, travel very, very fucking far, and usually some of them are just, born disturbed, born mentally disturbed, like the kind of people that will sit in their room, watch only TV, and never leave the house. Like, disturbed, like fucked up in the head, and nothing to be done for them, basically. And then you have these people that are like Predator Poachers or No Games for Weirdos that are on YouTube right now that are basically pulling a Chris Hansen with their Dateline NPC. Why don't you take a seat? That old show that got discontinued because there was kind of a huge legal hole requiring Chris Hansen to pretty much give up because pedophile that got caught killed himself because he thought that his career was over, which it was right. I mean, he was right. His career was over. But because of that, they had to stop doing it, which makes no sense. Because now, a dozen years later, 10 years later, several years later, I don't know when Chris Hansen stopped, but I think it was like in the 2010s. But, now, we got all these people going out on YouTube. You got a black man like No Games for Weirdos going up to these random fucking pedophiles saying, I got the chat log and everything, I was the one talking to you. And he's a black guy. So the chances are, if this other person's racist or armed, or if the cops have to come, they're going to look at him first. That's what's fucked up. But he's mature about the situation, and unfortunately not all cops are fucking equal. Remember that quote. But then you have the yuppies that they're like Predator Poachers on YouTube. That there was one where they have a predator roll a dice, which at first I was laughing about it because it was fucking hilarious and they were trolling him though. That was the problem with that, because there's a huge legal hole where you're going to someone to meet up with them and say, hey, look, you're a pedophile, I don't want this, and you just can't. You can't do that. You can't just come up to someone, say you're a pedophile, and then just start fucking with them. For the wrong reasons. You can fuck with them for the right reason, which is you're sitting there and you say, yeah, I have you fucking trying to talk to this little 12-year-old girl. What the fuck is wrong with you? But then when you start to bother them saying, hey, look, I'm going to depend your whole future on a dice roll. Go ahead. And that's fucking with the person mentally. Like, they've pretty much given up. They're like, all right, I give up. It's not good. It doesn't look good for a courtroom or the legal system or any politician, any legislator that's making a law to sit there and say, hey, look, you guys are harassing a pedophile that you caught, open in midday, and you got all the evidence. Sure, you went up to him, though, but you fuck with him in all the wrong ways. This is unethical. We're going to have to put a stop to this. And that's how that shit stops. And that's how we end up with more pedophiles back in the country. It's not a good image. Especially the worst thing is when you go on sites like Omegle, and this is me going off on Omegle here. I troll on Omegle, just like a few other people I know, and we go on there occasionally, and we'll open up a virtual camera, say I go on as Morty Smith. Like, oh, hey, how you doing, kiddos? And the problem is, when you go on at this hour, it's usually all migrant people trying to get white people nudes to blackmail them. I'm not kidding. And it's usually like 90% white women that they're looking for. But they'll never find it because no white woman is on at fucking 3 in the morning. So, like, right now, they expect way, way too much on Omegle. And a lot of people on Omegle, many of them are pedophiles. many of the people on there right now at this hour, they're pedophiles that are from other countries. Now, in India, I think the age of consent is like 16 or something, or even lower. You know, it's fine when it's that country, but when you're internationally sitting, you know, on the internet to see that sort of thing and then blackmail them for money like a tech support scammer, that's another thing altogether. It's not too great. It's really not. And you could say that that's racist. Oh, you're being mean to Indians, and oh, I don't give a shit. Listen, okay? Every other day I get a tech support call from an Indian on my phone. Okay, I'll sit there. I'll say it as plain as possible. They could be anything worse. I don't even look at most of those fucking people as human beings. I look at them as scum of the fucking earth. If you don't doubt that, go out and on YouTube right now, click away from this. You know, not click away, but open up another tab and go look up, what the hell is it? Jim Browning. How he's catching these fucking Indian people that are making, you know, elderly lives fucking miserable. He stopped a package that had $10,000 cash that a woman with dementia sent out to a tech support scammer to pay off a bill for her phone, to have her phone secure from hackers. That's not good. It's not good at all. That's I mean, if that's what Indians are doing to have their little fucking hotel in front of the lake, that's just a fucking joke. But then we have, you know, I've discussed the pedophile catching online, which is now rampant. Everyone's fucking doing it, which is really weird. A really weird time to be doing that now. Not that there's anything wrong with it. We do need fucking less pedophiles in the goddamn world, because this is a lot of fucked up shit. The pedophile trolling now from those people for views, revenue, whatever, and keeping their videos up online, that's another thing which I guess is sort of okay, because it is their recording, it's their content, but there's got to be some kind of weird thing that they can't do that entirely for. And I know when they walk up, it's like, oh, this is for our protection, you know, this is for us, this is for our legal protection in case you say you were already in crutches when we found you, or some legal bullshit like that. That much is understandable, but then when it comes to the ethical part of fucking plastering their face and not censoring anything, or censoring other people in the footage, is kind of where I start to have like a big fucking problem with it, because it's someone else that's not the person that you're going after, whose face is now plastered all over the fucking video, and the contents, the comment section is usually mocking said person for being the fucking pedophile. That's the fucking problem with that. That's the problem with YouTube right now, is they just see it as a big fucking money milk. So they see the toxicity and they allow it to happen. That's why there's big drama channels on YouTube that make no fucking sense and have no original content of their own and don't fucking speak of anything original. So, we got, what, those fucking two things down in 8 minutes? Penis in a jar. Hey, how you doing, No Name? I didn't think you'd be up at 3 in the morning. You have the pedophiles, the real ones, let me talk about them. There are some really, and I mean really fucked up pedophiles out there. I've seen some shit. I got life experience, okay, dealing with fucking pedophiles. Now, I've never been a victim of one, and I've never fucking done any of that shit. But my fucking God, you know, in real life I'm not saying real pedophilia, I mean going to a person that is literally fucking 16, knowing that they're underage, or 14, 15, whatever, and fucking plowing their brains out on fucking purpose, full well knowing that you're going to jail if you're caught, full well knowing their fucking age and continuing to do it. Now, there is continuing to do it and being worried that the minor who would probably go to the police if you stop doing it, or whatever. That is reverse pedophilia. There's blackmail. There's blackmail at that point. To where it's like, oh, if you fucking stop doing this, I'm going to go to the cops. There's reverse. And that part, that's never seen in the legal world at all. Because before anyone says, oh, a child can't consent, you're right. They can consent. Let me correct you right there. They have the mental stability to make a decision to fuck with people. If a fucking 9-year-old can steal money from your cabinet, or money from your safe or whatever to go buy themselves a game at GameStop. What makes you think that they at 16, 15, where their hormones are ready and they're just beginning, what makes you think, as like a mom to their daughter, that your daughter wouldn't lie about trying to get a guy into the house, or someone stealing stealing your money from your purse or something? What makes you think that they won't fucking do that with or without your consent, and don't have the ability of thought process, a conscience, a human conscience, which every human being has at fucking birth? We are an amazing creature when you stop to think about it. The fact that as a human fucking being, right, you have the ability to think. As any other fucking mammal on this planet, not many of them have the ability to think and make conscious decisions. It's very fucking rare. Hamsters can barely fucking do it. Chimpanzees can barely fucking make a decision. And then you got creatures that are as smart as fucking dolphins, but they're on their goddamn water. And not many people really, think about the small things in fucking life. But I have stories that I'm going to tell here from examples. From life examples. From living in South Jersey and seeing weird shit happen over the course of goddamn my whole fucking life. Because it's really weird now, as I'm saying, to see these fucking pedophile channels on at fucking, 2021 suddenly popping up and being, all that popular. And I get that they've been around for years or whatever, but why are they just now suddenly, fucking relevant? And excuse my hair, I woke up, I was supposed to take a shower. I don't care, that's why I had a hood on. When you have... Let's just go from example to example here. This is a life example. This is real. This story that I'm about to tell. I'm not going to mention the names or whatever. This is just a real story. Real story, really happened. When I was fucking 21, several years ago, way, way before statute. So even if I had involvement in this, I'm beyond the statute at this point. I went with another friend who at the time was 20, turning 21. We went out to kind of a frat house type deal. Into someone's backyard, whatever, we were hanging out. It was a huge party here in like a little fucking New Jersey frat house, as I was saying. And we go in, and I'm the one who buys the liquor. And I'm a little bit concerned about that because, the whole fucking law on, if you bring liquor, you're the one who's responsible if anyone leaves and gets into an accident. But it wasn't my house, and I was just doing it for the person who owned the place, who was also 25 and was okay with it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go get it. I get there. And one of the girls was in the car. We had 3 girls in the car, and one other passenger was my friend from school. He was also the guy who was turning 20 to 21. And he had a problem with hooking up with a lot of underage women. Or flirting with them, or walking up and slapping their asses. And he was 20, so it's like, this was several years ago when, 2014, when no one gave a shit. When no one in Jersey really gave a shit. Just walk up in public to a girl in a mall that he's seen in school and slap their ass, basically. That's how he was. And I didn't have any problems with that. I was just like, whatever, he's my pal. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. But he didn't really have many people to hang out with. He didn't have much friends outside of just trying to fucking flirt and, have a good life. But when we were in this car with this fucking girl, she goes in with me. The other 3 people stay in the car. She's like, I'm going to go in with you. I want to pick out a thing. And fucking big size tits on this girl. Big fucking tits. I'm not going to lie about it. She had tits about half the size of my wife's. Which are like fucking double D's. They're fucking insane. I'm a tits guy, man. I really am. But, let me get to the sides at this point. You have, this girl is coming in with me into a liquor store. I don't know her age. I don't. She could have been fucking 19 for all I know. We go in, and she goes up to the counter, and she pulls out her ID, and she buys alcohol right in front of me. So at that point, in my mind, I know the drinking age to be able to buy alcohol is 21. So I'm like, okay, she's got to be at least 21, right? We go to the party. We leave the liquor store 6:30. We go back and we drink, and it's fucking 10 o'clock at night. We're all fucking plastered. This girl is upstairs fucking my friend and a few other people there. And she's flirting around. She's doing all kinds of weird shit. The next day, when she's not plastered and it's fucking 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, she's getting up 5 hours early with a little hangover. She didn't really drink too much. She was taking advantage of all the adults there. She was a minor. Her ID was fake. She managed to buy alcohol from a liquor store with a fake ID and claim that she was fucking 23 to some of my friends. Reality was she was 13. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding about that. You got a 13-year-old that was out banging a fucking 20-year-old and then trying to blackmail him. I said, no, fucking no. And then you know what I did instead? Because she was trying to ruin his fucking life and try to send my fucking friend to jail for that. Because she lied. Clear as day. She told all of us that she was 23 and showed us an ID that literally looked legitimate. It was laminated and everything with a fucking New Jersey seal. Here's what I fucking did. I went right to the liquor store I went to, and I called up the cops. I said, look, I want you to pull the camera footage of this girl buying alcohol. She claimed she was underage as a fake ID, and that she was trying to pedophile some people, reverse pedophilia from people from the other night. She's now in jail. In juvie, then transferred to jail. Because she had 5 years left in juvie, and she had an additional 2 years, so she's spent 2 years in prison, and when she got out, she got pissed off at me. I told her, look, don't be a fucking reverse pedophiling piece of shit. Don't try to ruin people's careers. She was actually fucking demanding cash. She was demanding, oh, buy me a fucking PlayStation 3. Buy me that. I'm like, look, we're not buying you fucking dog shit. Okay? You're the minor. You're not supposed to fucking be here. You know what the fuck you're doing. You're developed enough. You technically helped that girl. By putting them in jail, yeah. Maybe they can bend over and get the right fucking dicking that they fucking need at 13, 14, 15 and stop screwing people over. Yeah, I did get that girl some fucking help. Mentally, people, mostly women, are fucked up. They don't believe the whole monogamy of things anymore. They're like, oh, a girlfriend or a boyfriend to a woman or whatever, lesbian or gay, I don't care. To them, it's like, okay, it's like a can of soda. Crack it open, drink it for, an X amount of time, and then, okay, it's done. That doesn't fucking... You know how much strain monogamy, like serious monogamy, at even 18, 19... There's men who are mentally developed to the point where at 20, they already feel like they're 30 or 40. Because we've been through this shit. We have animated shit for days. We have created video content for days. We have built whole fucking studios for days. As someone who's 28, I legitimately feel like I'm 50 years old in age. I don't feel any different. I really don't. But I feel like I'm fucking 50 with all my goddamn problems. Okay? Here's a fun thing. Females, women, when they're caught doing pedophilic shit, they don't get in trouble. They don't. That's another fucking big problem. My first ex-girlfriend, who is a model, who's located in Florida, not going to give out her name. Right now, she's hiding in Florida from her family because her dad abused her, and not going to get into this one. I didn't want to get into this one, but unfortunately, she is also a pedophile. She, not knowing, got with my cousin, who was, at the time, 14 or 15. No, he was 15. She, 25, turning 26, literally in 2 months, when I found that out. I was like, what the fuck? Now here, hold on. The guy was my cousin. That's where it gets better. So, out of obsession with me for 10 years, which that fucked with my head. Imagine, you're 16, you find the girl of your dreams, she's also 16, you get out of high school, and then you think about them for fucking 10 years on your mind. That plays fucking tricks on you. And you go through this weird separation phase, whatever. How are kids able to look older Uh, it's more thinking, mindset thinking older, not looking older. I could sit here and put on a fucking gray Albert Einstein wig and go, "Hi, how you doing? My name is Maris Memes." That's just ageism. That's just ageism right there. That's not what I want to do here. I'm just saying I feel old as shit from dealing with fucking idiots. But let me go back to this story. This fucking cousin of mine who was at the time 15, he literally looked like me, but like I would say several inches taller than me, because he came from one of my other father's brother who was taller, if that makes sense. But looked exactly like me at that age. So it was fucking hilarious when I approached her and I said, "Why are you dating my cousin and he's underage?" And she still stayed with him. But yet didn't go to jail, didn't get arrested, had the cops called on her, but nothing happened. So that was hilarious, right? And then when the cops got called on her and that was all found out, apparently she skipped fucking state to avoid anything. To run from the problem so the police wouldn't be able to approach her. Because here in South Jersey, the police are fucking useless, lazy, and selfish. They really are. You find some abandoned property, they will fucking threaten to arrest you to take it. You bother anyone for any reason, they'll come to your place, they'll just look around, they'll take a note, and that's it. You ever need to report someone for fucking theft or destroying your property, they'll write down a note, say that they'll investigate, but they'll just get back in their car and go back to the headquarters and do nothing. They don't actually send anyone out to do anything. When you get to that point, you pretty much can get away with anything. And if you're a woman, that's like fucking double privilege. If you're anything at all, even if you were a male to female trans, you can get away with virtually fucking anything. Because of how fucked up things are. It really is. You know, even trans worker rights is pretty bad. Okay? You got people or companies that will fire men that have tits. I'm not kidding, by the way. You got companies that will write you up if you're a guy, but you want your hair long, but their requirement is only females can have long hair, but their hair in a ponytail. I want long hair, but I can't go to my work with a ponytail, apparently, like all the other women. Like my manager, that's my aunt, like the HR that comes in wearing a fucking ponytail. Apparently, I can't wear a ponytail at work to be able to keep my long hair. That's why my hair is short. Isn't that unironic? That's sexism right there. You know, it's this joke of a field of concepts that people put themselves in that jeopardizes their futures, that jeopardizes their business, but just jeopardizes their entire characterization. And then they lose their characterization at fucking, you know, they come to this realization at 2, 3 in the fucking morning like I'm doing. I'm sitting here just trying to enjoy a fucking morning Pepsi, thinking about how fucking stupid people are. You know, I'm only at the 23-minute mark. I'm fucking enlightening myself just sitting here ranting like an asshole. I mean, what else do I need? So that was 2 stories. 2 stories. Oh, God. Here's another one. Oh, my God. I'm going to talk about this one. This is a real story from my previous ex. The previous one. And I was okay with settling down with her. Because at that point, I was probably 22, 23. You know, I was looking for that mid-20 age, look, I'm fucking done. I want to settle down. I don't want to fucking deal with shit anymore. I want to go to doing my regular YouTube bit where I'm content and happy, which is what I am now with my wife of about 4.5 years going. So this ex was a fucking idiot. Stole from her mother about $1,000. Stole from multiple different people from her brother. Stabbed her brother. Has been arrested for public indecency, public theft. Stole from a ShopRite and a Rite Aid. Stole from 2 different malls and multiple other stores. Had a huge criminal background that I didn't know about. And after I fucking investigated her, and after she stole from my fucking safe, I went off on her. She stole from my safe knowing that I told her that the money was for my nieces and nephews' Christmas. That's how much of a piece of shit she was. And when she had after we were done, I made sure that to find out some shit about her. And she was fucked up in the head. Really fucked up. I wouldn't put it past her to be a fucking pedophile while we were dating. I really wouldn't have. And she claims up and down, oh, it's just mental disability. No, you know what the fuck you're doing. You know full well what the fuck you're doing, especially with guilt coming to my fucking house crying that you stole from my safe. No, you know full fucking well. Especially on fucking recording like a retard. You know, but the cops did nothing about it. And I have this long fucking judgment about it, but I'm not going to care about this right now. But let me just finish this fucking story. So, it was probably October of about 5 years ago. And what the fuck was the deal? She was claiming that she wanted a kid suddenly. I'm like, look, I don't want no fucking kid. You don't work. You're not capable of taking care of one. And the only reason she wanted a kid was, oh, my motherly instincts are kicking in, and my friend has a couple kids, and they look adorable, and I want one. No, I'm not giving you child support. You don't work. You don't work, you don't drive, you don't do anything. I'm not going to give you anything. At that point, I might as well just date a fucking sack of potatoes. Literally. And I'm not doing that. I'd rather have someone fucking useful in my life that actually does something instead of sit around, steal from fucking people, and be completely trustworthy, right? That seems like the legitimate, rational fucking thing to do, right? So, she goes by, and one day she tells me, oh, I'm not on birth control anymore. I go, what? So she's lying to me about being on birth control, and then suddenly is not. And then she thinks, oh, I don't have my prescription anymore. I find out months later that she had the prescription. It was in her room. She didn't take it. She wasn't taking it anymore. She kind of wanted to trick me into having a kid with her. And thankfully, I made her do a fucking pregnancy test right in front of me. Watched her fucking pee on a stick, literally. I'm not kidding. And luckily it failed. So I wasn't a dad or anything, because that would have fucked up my whole future. That's another thing with fucking women. They take life for privilege. They take life for privilege so they can sit on their ass, collect child support, not work a fucking day in their lives. That's what's disgusting to me. When she ended up having 2 kids after me, though, I reported that fucking mother. I reported her. She lost both of her kids forever. And I'm goddamn glad, because a piece of shit like this that I'm about to describe to you deserves to have nothing. Okay, as I already described it, that sounds like the biggest inhumane, subhuman pile of bad dragon dog shit that I could ever fucking come up with. I couldn't even come up with an insult that would describe it. Because I don't view that as a human being. It's just fucking terrible. It really is. While she was with this quote-unquote new guy who was also trying to fucking terrorize me, which didn't fucking work because I have skills to do anything I fucking want, decides that, they want to hook up and stalk the previous friend's ex. Now ex. They were together at one point. But at this point that he was stalking this other girl, she was 17 turning 18. So she was still a minor. But he was following her Instagram, her fucking Snapchat, her fucking Facebook and everything, yet never gave out her Instagram or fucking Snapchat online, ever, and somehow found her. And she even fucking said this to me when she came over one day. She's like, oh my god, at this point when she came over, she was 18. But she came over with my friend at the time. So they were coming over as a couple, which was no big deal. We were just hanging out and playing fucking video games in my basement. She comes over and she tells me how this guy, random guy, was my ex. My ex's fucking now boyfriend at the time, who suddenly within a month is a husband. By the way, that sounds mentally fucking stable, right? So you got this guy or this girl telling me that my ex's guy is stalking her fucking accounts that she never gave out the information on, and then she is getting sent dick pics by this guy. So this guy not only committed fucking pedophilia, but my ex and that fucking weirdo husband that was sending dick pics to a random other girl, they wanted a threesome. It gets better. Hold on, it gets better. It gets fucking more hilarious. It gets so hilarious that it makes no sense. The daughter... I don't even want to go here. The girl that came over my house, that was my friend's girlfriend, was the sheriff's daughter. Was the sheriff... She got kicked out of the state. She got kicked, not out of the state, but out of the town. It's like, not arrested, but just thrown out of the town. Like, holy shit. It's priceless, man. It's fucking priceless. I can't. Oh, God. It's like, that couldn't go any fucking better. Make an animated story of this. I can't. So that there is 2 instances of females from my life being pedophiles. Real ones. And they were, the fucked up thing is, they were both my girlfriends. I dated 2 pedophiles. As a straight man. As a meme lord, too. That's what's even fucking weirder. But now I suddenly got this, regular fucking woman in my life that I'm happy with. And I could not be any more goddamn happy. I really couldn't. I got it fucking made right now. But those other 2 fucking things, oh God. I wouldn't call the... Sorry. I wouldn't call the one from high school days when I was 16 a problem. Because I still kind of miss her, but... I mean... Terrified of her father, pretty much. One of those silver spoon type people, that have everything handed to them by their family, and they get worried that they'll get disowned if they do anything wrong or do anything to upset daddy privileges, and then they fucking lose all their money, quote unquote. That's not even their money to begin with. Here's my viewpoint. This is how my father raised me, right? My father raised me in a way where he told me, get it by your own fucking hands and fuck off. I'm not kidding. He told me once to go out in the street and play with fucking razor blades. And the reason I'm saying this is because, as, with fucking pedophiles, it's the way that they're raised as a kid by their parents as how they turn out to go out and do these fucking things. So when I have a father that says, hey, I'm not getting you a phone in, this fucking age of day. I'm not buying you a phone. You can get your own one when you're 18. You're only allowed a phone when you're 18. You are not allowed to have a phone at 16 or 17. Even if you buy it, you are not allowed to have it. You gotta work your ass off. You gotta go get your own car insurance. You gotta go get everything on your own. I'll put you on my plan for a few years and whatever if you want. But I gotta show them this. I gotta jump through fucking hoops. Now, a pedophile, these women, they have everything handed to them. They don't work for it. They don't know the struggle that it takes to pay off rent, fucking bills, subscriptions to things like fucking Final Fantasy 14 to have fun, or RuneScape or whatever, or to get a magazine subscription for like a couple bucks a day, or whatever, or their teen magazine sub that they fucking want, or their emo edgy fucking gothic magazine that they would get in the mail. They don't fucking know that kind of a fucking struggle, because everything that they've ever done gets fucking handed to them. And yeah, they might work a little part-time job on the side, but they don't know the real fucking struggle of how fucking hard it is to actually do all that shit, because all they want, and I really do hate women for this. I love them. It's a love-hate relationship, but it's the fucked up women that go out of their way and take advantage of their fucking privilege as being a real woman, compared to some transsexuals that want to be a fucking woman, that are more than deserving of it, that worked hard as a fucking guy, that, fucking just get screwed over. There are a lot of people in, transition from either sex that deserve it more than the cis people. And it's really weird to say it like that. But it starts to make fucking sense. When you have fucking these disgruntled fucking people, be it male or fucking female, yet some of them are rational thinkers, like myself, like some of the people that view my content, whatever. It's sad to see them get fucked over. I've seen a lot of decent people get screwed over. I got a friend, I'm gonna call him the letter C, because it's what his fucking name begins with. Really great fucking guy, has a 3D printer. You know, I've hung out with him a couple of times. And, he can never get a girlfriend. I don't know, maybe because he's Hispanic, I don't know. But you got people like that, you know, as nice as they are, as good as they are, and with no fucking strings attached, no secrets to them, they don't win. They get fucked over by stupid women that want to sit there and fuck around with them, basically. That aren't looking for something monogamous, like I was saying earlier. That just, you know, they want to toy around and have a second toy or an option. It's like fucking buying a 12-pack of soda and the girl picking out all of them and saying, okay, this one's Jimmy, this one's Tim, this one's Cameron, this one's cookie dough ice cream, this one's a fuckboy material, and I'll pick one whenever I want to date one that week. It's so disgusting. And before women, some girl on here that, you know, thinks I'm being sexist about this, think about it this way. I get it. Guys can go out of their fucking way and cheat on you, but 80% of men don't fucking cheat. Realistically, you'll know if we're cheating. All you have to do is take our fucking phone or look into our Facebook profiles. Or whatever. And here's the thing with me and my wife. This is how my wife knows I don't cheat on her. I don't use my Facebook account. I'll use it to instant message someone, that's it. I let my wife use my Facebook account the whole time. I never use the fucking thing, mostly. I'll use it to message a couple of good friends. Other than that, I don't fucking touch the damn thing. I go to occasionally see who blocks me on there, and that's pretty much it on that. Every other thing, my wife knows I don't text fucking people. I don't have Instagram, Snapchat, or any of those fucking things on my phone. Here's what I have on my phone. I got Discord, Gmail, and that's it. And a messenger app that's built into the phone. You know, it's when you get to an extended point, girls pick guys like a character select in a game. Yeah, they do. They get way too much fucking privilege that it's disturbing. Okay, here's another nice example of such bullshit. Okay, my female cousin, who I was friends with on Facebook on an alternate account, who I worked with, was a fucking mental train wreck constantly. And she would bring... And I have no qualms with her, but this is just something that irks the shit out of me. It irks the shit out of my own mother, too, which is surprising. Because she did the same shit when she was a fucking kid, obviously. But when you're a kid, you do stupid shit. But there's no excuse. When you're not living with your original mom and dad, you're living with another relative, and the person that she was living with is my boss right now, and no longer lives with her now. Apparently she went back to her mother, but she was bringing over random fucking guys to my aunt's house while she was at work running the fucking place. And what's fucked up to me is not only are you, you know, at the time still 17, turning 18, now being able to do things in 19 and whatnot, but you're bringing over random fucking strangers to another relative's fucking house to screw or have sex with. And then she's inviting over exes that are coming over in front of the house, bitching the two of them out, causing a scene, having the cops show up and this and that. And when I sit and I think about that, you would say, oh, that's teen drama. You're still screwing someone over for that. And that person that gets screwed over, they're probably going to go out and be a fucking pedophile. That guy is probably going to be so lonely that he'll take just about anything. And then that anything ends up being a quote-unquote reverse pedophile. As I mentioned earlier, the blackmailing pedophile. It's a girl that, that the whole story with, they meet up at a fucking bar or something, or at a fucking liquor store, and they have a fake ID, or they sit there and they say, hey, buy me a drink, I'm 22, I'm lazy, I don't feel like going out, or whatever, and then you find out, oh yeah, they're fucking underage to shit, and then they bang them, and then boom, they're getting blackmailed, their career's over, they end up in court, they get sent to fucking prison for 5-10 years, whatever, and then their whole life is screwed until that girl admits in a courtroom that they lied, and they go to prison instead. And there's a lot of instances where women have sent men to fucking jail for false claims of rape. A lot. Women have it fucking made. And before they say, oh, I've been victimized, there is a meme in my own fucking Discord channel. And I wanted to dedicate this whole podcast to this fucking lady. So I'm just going to find this meme real quick. It was a little farther up. But my God, this was a fucking joke. I'll be surprised if I find it. I don't know if I will, but let me just talk about this. It was about a woman who claimed, like, over a dozen instances of being raped or whatever, you know. And I sit there, and she's trying to put people in fucking jail, and I'm just like, yeah, you sure about that? You totally sure about that? I don't know about that. Where is it? It's in the not safe for work. Oh God, I'm gonna be scrolling up for a while. Was it? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna find this fucking thing. I'm gonna be scrolling for a while, it seems. But anyway, since this is probably a reflection on my screen, my glasses, I probably shouldn't be wearing them right at the second, but I'm trying to fucking find this goddamn image. What the fuck? I think it's just gone. I don't know what the fuck happened to it. I don't know. It's probably somewhere in Space Mexico. Podcast. My podcast was lagging. Should I refresh? I guess I'll refresh. I don't know why, it was just lagged out. Still says I'm streaming. I don't know. It was just weird. Figured this is a good hour. Maybe it's because I was loading through too much shit on Discord. But this woman was this really obese woman who's like overweight as shit. And, okay, now it's back. It was this really obese woman who's really overweight, really fat as fuck. And I mean, absolutely, like, you might as well have just put a fucking head on it and just made it a fucking flesh ball. Like, disgusting, disturbed, pimple-faced, pizza-faced woman. And apparently she's claiming that she's been raped 10 times and wants money, victimized money. And it was turned into a fucking meme here. Maybe you can find it on Google. Maybe I'll have better luck on Google here. Woman falsely accuses 15 men. Here's the woman. Fantasius, fucking 27, jailed for 10 years for falsely accusing 15 men. And then you look at a picture of her, and it's just like, good. It's like fucking good. Here's an image of her. Here's the article, rather. I'm just gonna put this in my own fucking chat. But just like, look at it. Look at it. It looks like a super radical feminist. What white man would stick their dick in that? You don't falsely accuse 15 different fucking dudes of rape with no evidence, just claims, and try to screw people's lives over. This is honestly like a mental disability. Like, how am I gonna put this? Chris in my own Discord fucking says that furries have a mental disability. That jumping into a fursuit is a mental disability. I beg to differ that is an art selection, and that this is a mental disability. That is a legitimately fucked up thing to do for a selfish amount of money, knowing your privilege as a fucking woman, to sit there and claim in court something so fucking serious that could, potentially create an unwanted child in your fucking life and ruin everything. And here you are, no fucking baby, no pregnancy, no fucking semen in your vagina to fucking test for a DNA test, and every other fucking thing under the goddamn sun. No claims, no text messages to meet up here with this person or X person, because how the fuck did you meet these people? You don't just get plowed by fucking 15 people. Not even at a frat house. Unless this was at a frat house, which in that case, you're at a fucking frat house to get fucked. Why are you... If you're spreading your legs drunk at a frat house because you're drunk, guess what? It's open fucking house, dumbass. And I get it, it's the UK. The UK people are typically really fucked up people, and they are. They're hypersexual. The United Kingdom usually has a lot of people banging every other fucking minute. Every other 3 seconds there is another couple who, another at least 10 couples that have nutted. I'm not kidding, by the way. Their population's insane. They're almost as bad as China's fucking population right now. But, my God, the pedophilia there is, it exists. It's not as rampant as here, where people get away with it, and of course it never gets mentioned, or it gets, thrown under the wind because they're a woman. And that's the problem with society. It's usually because they're a woman that they get the rights, that they get away with this sort of shit. And it always falls back on the man's responsibility. The man is responsible for making sure, dead fucking 100% sure, that without shadow of doubt, without fact, that the woman is at least 18 in the United States to be bangable. But yet at the same time that they can fucking lie, make up all this shit, and fucking convince you and deceive you and then blackmail you afterward. And then screw your whole career over. Now, there is another type of pedophilia, which not really pedophilia, because the way you would look at it is state-to-state basis, is when you're online and let's say, for example, you're 18 and a girl is 16 and you're chatting. There is Megan's Law. There is Megan's Law that is in effect. It's where all you need is the parent consent, or, the child gets automatic approval from the parent, and that they're just chill with it. And it's a very weird gray zone, that law, the whole Megan's Law in the state of New Jersey and every other fucking state. It is a weird thing, and it's not, that you could argue it's not cross-state, but the problem is, I'm not crossing a state. I'm staying within New Jersey. So let's say this is New Jersey, my fingertips is New Jersey, and let's say this girl is in, I don't fucking know, let's say Michigan. Not really Michigan. I don't know where this girl would be. But let's just say you are, here's the internet wall or whatever, or the state wall. You're sending messages to her, whatever, dick pics or whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. You're the 18-year-old, and she's the 16-year-old. She's the one also sending pussy pics to you or whatever. Nudes, whatever, whatnot. And then there's this one little fucking internet wall. You're not crossing state lines to see them. You're just sending footage. Yeah, it's still kind of borderline illegal, but the only thing that doesn't make it illegal is the parent consent, or the fact that she's 16 and gets automatic consent from her family. And by automatic consent is, at 16, you need to ask your family members, hey, can I date somebody who's 18, 19, so that way I can be taken to the mall, or be driven around, or whatever, or, have a little bit of extra free roam privilege. Because, again, not much would be seen wrong with that, especially if you've known them since childhood. Now, another gray zone. This is another gray zone here. There are instances where things don't get reported because of the fact that you've known the family for all that time. I've seen friendships, even my own friendships, end because of this shit. Okay, let's see, what was my age at the time for this one? I'm just going to call this person John and his sister, Alex. Terrible naming. So when I would constantly hang out with John as another gamer. We would hang out, and he was the one I would constantly play Ocarina of Time with as a kid growing up. But his sister Alex was probably about 5 years younger than us. She was growing up. She's a really nice person. She's a nice sister. She'd occasionally come down and play Diddy Kong Racing and whatnot with us. And it was as kids. I was probably like 9. She was 5, or whatever. I think that was the difference pretty much. And as we got older, we played more and more different games. But when I turned 18, and at that point, John, or whatever fucking name I gave him, he was also an adult. He was about a year older than me, so he was 19. When I turned 18, I was no longer allowed it over their house. The parents did not want me in there because they assumed that I was going to date her. Because I was so friendly with her, I guess. They were worried that every time I would go over that girl's house, or his house, to hang out and play games, the only way I could hang out with him, the only way, I couldn't just say, hey, dude, leave the house and go meet me up out here. No, we had to fucking meet in private at a fucking local mall or at a friend's house. That was the only way we were going to get away with it. So if the parents knew I was going to go to meet up with my friend, who was also 19, I could not fucking see him. So I've seen friendships ruined by, parents that are convinced that an 18-year-old is the worst fucking thing for their 15-year-old daughter that has tits and can make their own decisions. Now, I get it. She's a minor. But she was also my friend for those fucking 10 years of her life at that point. So I've known her for a decade. I've gone over about, once a week at that point. Maybe once a week, every once a month, and I would hang out. But, when you get to that extent and you've known someone for fucking 10 years growing up, obviously it's not a big fucking deal, and you wouldn't look at them like that. You look at them as a friend. Now, 4 or 5 years go by. She's now an adult, and then at that point, I was 20 or something like that. I think a couple years had passed by, and then I was like, yeah, whatever. Then me and her are playing an MMO together, and we hook up. For a little bit. Not long. And then we were just pretty much done as she goes out. And weirdly enough, her parents were okay with her suddenly dating a 38-year-old at 19. With a 38-year-old coming over and plowing her in her fucking bed. Does that make fucking sense? I would be more concerned about the 38-year-old with a car that could, potentially take your adult daughter and kidnap her, over the guy down the fucking street that was the friend that you were fucking banning from coming into the house anymore. I think, with situations with pedophilia and these concepts of pedophilia, of right and wrong, they're a moral ethnic. It's moral. That's all it comes down is morals and legislators. And the legislation's not knowing what to do or what is right. And the problem with it is because the Constitution and all these politics higher up, they're all pedophiles. All of them. They're all pedophiles. Every single fucking person is a pedophile. It's not a good thing, unfortunately. And that's why the correct laws don't get passed. And adults get victimized by kids. And vice versa. And everything gets screwed the fuck up by the fact, and it all stems down from bad parenting, bad legislative morale, legislators and their morals fuck everything up. Kids having the knowledge of how to do this shit and use phones and have access to phones more easily. I think that's a big one, because if you have a phone, you can fucking Google anything. You could Google how to make a bomb right now. Nothing stops you from doing that. You have the knowledge and the power to go click off this video and go look up, hey Google, how do I make a bomb? Nothing stops you. And then the fourth magical one is that the fact that you could do it. You can do it. You literally do anything you fucking want. You can fuck over anyone you want. You can bang anyone who you want and get away with it. Or try not to. or not to get caught, or basically end up as a Chris Hansen victim on fucking Dateline NBC trying to fucking play the victim off the camera and be a pedophile. It's realistic. It really, you stop to think about it. There are more hidden, off the fucking topic pedophiles that exist than a lot of people would think. I'm not kidding. It's so fucking weird that it makes zero sense. And by the way, going back to the whole thing with the earlier 16 and 18-year-old online, it's done all the time. And I mean all the time. And sometimes you become friends with them. You could be 16 and befriend an 18-year-old and vice versa. And eventually it does get sexual. It's whatever at that point. For most of the time, it's whatever. But a lot of people take it so fucking seriously that it's like almost quote-unquote career ending. It's this huge ending fucking thing. Yet, you're not meeting them. You're not sending anything. And even if you do, apparently it's wrong because even though there's laws in effect that protect everything. It's like, think of it like gay marriage bills. Think of it like that. Think of it like gay marriage bills. Okay, you have an instance where you can't get married to another guy because you're a guy, but you can only get married because they're girls. So the way you can only get around that is either change the bill or get a sex change and secretly, get registered as a female to marry the guy, or vice versa, or pick one of you to turn, straight, or quote unquote not really straight, and then lie about it on your thing and basically get married quote unquote as a woman. And that's how you would get around that. That is the only way to get around gay marriage, is to work around. And there are couples that would do it. There really would be. Because it's a moral concept. This is something that legislators don't know how to approach. And they don't know how to approach it the right way that parents and as well as the political world would know how to enforce it. And that's a huge problem. And then it stems down to now these pedophile channels, these pedophile catching channels like Predator Poachers and No Games for Weirdos going out on YouTube. They're both linked below in the description. I recommend you watch them. They're not bad, but it's not good either. Some of them say you got to get some help here. You got to call your parents. I respect that. It's like, hey, you're gonna call your parents. You're gonna get the help, or we're gonna call the cops. I can full on fucking respect that. I don't view that as harassment. I view that as them, the catchers in question, trying to get the fucking pedophiles help without them going behind bars and having their career ruined. The problem is, if they're, cooperating, I don't feel like that their fucking face should be shown. Their faces should be blurred, but their audio not. That's just me, and that's how my ethnicity, or my ethnic, my ethical view of, how that whole channel should go down, how that viewship should go down. How would someone sit there and fucking look at a fucking person running up to a catcher and saying, you're a fucking pedophile, you're a fucking pedophile, you're a fucking piece of dirt, you're a piece of shit, I'm calling the cops. And it's over a couple messages of some disgruntled shit that needs mental help because parenting was shit. That's what it comes down to. So is it because the parenting of a kid and their psychological help or their need for help isn't matched by the parent? It's usually always coming back on the parent. Almost 78% of the time, it's the parent's fault that a person goes out and becomes a fucking pedophile. 78% of the time. The rest is the quote-unquote file's fucking mental state and their decision-making to go out and do it, knowing full well that they're going to possibly get caught. Even in some messages with these fucking victims and decoys, they're like, oh, I feel like I'm going to get caught. Are you law enforcement or something? They know. They fucking know. So when I see these catchers going out and they're harassing them straight up saying, oh, you're going to cut, they're fucking putting so much of a mental strain on them that they probably want to commit suicide. They'll say, oh, I'm not going to do it, and then they'll go off the camera and then they'll commit suicide. You don't know that. They're people. You could get upset and fucking kill yourself. I could do the same thing. Nothing stops us from doing that. We have options. We have a mental state. You have a human brain that can make decisions for you. At any age. How about this? Here's a good way to test it. Here's an Allen key. that is in my hand. I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to tell myself to not pick it up. Alright, I'm not going to pick it up. I had the decision to pick it up. Really basic. Any person can do that at any age. Hey, Billy, I need you to bring you your number 2 pencil to school, and I need you to bring it to class, and I also need you to bring an extra pencil. Can you do that? The kid can decide to or not or forget. It's pretty basic. Decision-making and thought process is all you really need. And the tools to go out and do these fucked up things usually falls back on the parents to make sure that they don't fucking do something stupid like that. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of good parents anymore. Have you ever noticed you go to a supermarket and you see a parent on the phone or a mother and their kids are wandering all over the fucking place screaming, and you just want to beat the fucking kid to shut up and, do some proper fucking parenting, or bitch out the mom and be like, yo, look, spank your fucking kids. They're literally ripping down the whole cereal aisle like this. They're going down the cereal aisle, knocking everything over and fucking throwing bottles everywhere. I would beat that kid with a belt. I'd whoop that ass. Be like, look, what the fuck are you doing? Discipline, motherfucker. That's the problem. Kids don't get disciplined any fucking more. They really don't, because otherwise you look like a fucking abusive father or a fucking abusive mother. And there's the difference between abuse and then just straight up fucking discipline. Okay, there is a judge that got exposed for beating the ever-living shit out of his daughter with a belt and punching her in the face. And I mean like hardcore fucking to the point where there's blood. You can look it up on fucking Google. It was a Georgia judge, I believe. Let me see. Judge beats his daughter. That's what I was called. Judge William Adams. Very old footage. That I'm going to put up here. It's very graphic. It's fucked up, to say the least. It's on Daily Motion, or Daily Mail, sorry. Straight up, just whips her to the point where she's bleeding. That's not parenting, okay? That's not. Pain's the only way you learn. Really is, but that much is just too much. That's really graphic. But there's, like I said, there's differences between abusive and then disciplinary. And some of them don't work too well. And then when they don't work right, you get people that are really fucked up. When you're that abusive to your daughter or your son or whatever, it comes down to then them going out and doing something even worse than pedophilia. Possibly drugs. And then they fucking off themselves by ODing, and they don't know. And then they basically Amy Winehouse. I believe Amy Winehouse was probably abused as a kid by her family. I don't doubt. She's now deceased. I'm not gonna fucking make any accusations. I'm just gonna say I believe, possibly. There's a possibility of everything, and there is a possibility of everything. Just like there's a possibility of when I told you to not pick up an Allen key or a pencil, or let's say anything off your desk. I'm going to tell you right now, if there's something on your desk in front of you and you're watching this, I want you to not pick it up. And if you pick it up, then you made the decision to pick it up. That's called having a conscious mind to be able to make a fucking decision for yourself. But anyway, this was my Such Bullshit podcast, episode 20, about pedophilia shenanigans. This was just me talking about how my view of pedophiles, like personally, gets misconstrued by basic internet media. And not just internet media, but legislators. You got fucking female pedophiles that are real, that constantly get away with shit, that as No Name has described it as girls picking a character on a fucking character select screen like Smash. You got your fucking run-of-the-mill fucking sick pedophile that's like 40 going after a fucking 9-year-old getting caught by predator poachers that need the help. They need to be fucking either sent to the police or have their families contacted. But at that point, you're 40, you're an adult, you don't have a parent to fall back on. You have to talk to the cops. Because there's no other legal guardian for you that helps you out. I couldn't even imagine, like, some of the male and even female pedophiles that have, a wife or a husband and then they get caught, and they have to fucking explain it to their spouse. Like, that's probably the worst one. It really is. But it's 4:22 in the morning. I got some footage to edit. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, share this fucking podcast with anybody who you want to talk about pedophilia with. I'm pretty sure there's other people that have their own personal stories. I'm just telling you how it is. There are grounds, morals, and then there's things that are wrong. Okay? And if you justifiably believe that you're in the right, then you're in the right. When you get screwed over by reverse pedophilia, which is the worst thing, it's career ending through blackmail manipulation of some smart kid that wants to fucking screw over people and put people in jail for money or for fucking kicks. They deserve prison. They don't even deserve juvie. They don't deserve to be sent to juvie. They deserve to be sent to adult prison. That's my view on that. But unfortunately, when you're a minor, you're sent to juvie over prison for special treatment, which is ridiculous, but unfortunate. But thank you for tuning in, and again, comment, like, share. I did pay off some advertising recently. I did get a crap ton of subscribers, which is great, and I'm very happy for it. I've been in the middle of being too busy with editing multiple videos about Morty going to McDonald's and a few other things, and I'm working out some new subscription options and sharing options. So I'm hoping that everything starts to pay off, and thank you for tuning in. This is Maris Memes with your Such Bullshit podcast, episode 20. Good night, everyone. Or, I'm sorry, good morning, everyone.